Welcome to the Activated Storytellers 82nd podcast, July 17th, 2008.
This week's story is The Peacock and the Crane, an Aesop fable.
Hi, I'm Dennis.
And I'm Kimberly. And together we are
the Activated Storytellers without Zephyr.
This week, Zephyr is taken off to North Carolina, and we are in West Virginia, where we've been doing a bit of sightseeing and bike riding and a little bit of exploring and a lot of shows.
That's right. We are performing this week in Charleston, West Virginia, and we have already done Point Pleasant and Princeton, West Virginia.
And by the time you hear this, we'll be done with Charleston, West Virginia as well. And, well, actually, we'll be doing the 3 shows on the same day this airs. We do pre-record so that we can get this up to you in time. And we have, like Dennis said, explored Point Pleasant. Very unique area there, Point Pleasant. They're kind of known for the Mothman.
Whoa. Yes, they have a statue of the Mothman right downtown. And we've been there once before, and you can see on our website photos that we took with this statue of the Mothman. And I think it's supposed to be a life-size statue. If there is such a thing as life-size, it's, about 8 feet tall?
Yeah, there were reported sightings of a creature that was not quite man, not quite moth, just a kind of a combination in between, and they're not sure, but there's a bunch of stories about it.
And it all started in November 1966 when 2 couples supposedly spotted it out in the country somewhere, and I think there are rumors that it may have been of extraterrestrial origin.
We don't know. And Point Pleasant is also the site of the first significant battle that occurred between the whites and the Native Americans.
That was in 1774.
October 10th, 1774.
October 10th. Something else happened on that date. I can't remember what.
Well, not exactly on that day, but it is my birthday.
A few years later, though.
Just a couple.
Yeah. But Point Pleasant got its name from the fact that it is the point where 2 rivers come together in West Virginia. And it was actually named by George Washington, or it took its name from a remark made by George Washington about this being a pleasant point.
And I have to agree, it is a very pleasant point. Very nice community.
Like we said, this was a battle between the white forces and the Native American forces. Native American forces under the command of Chief Cornstalk.
He's buried there in a cement obelisk. Chief Cornstalk was reluctant to go to war. He was friends with the whites, and he was, I think, basically forced into this battle.
He was a Shawnee chieftain, by the way.
And this battle was against thousands of militiamen with rifles, so, gosh, guess who won?
The British forces were under the command of Colonel Andrew Lewis.
So, a site of historical significance that we got to visit this week.
And if you're ever in Point Pleasant, be sure and go down to the state park and take a look at the mural that they've painted along the wall there. Very impressive mural depicting the battle.
Right, and don't forget to visit the Mothman.
Oh, yes, you can't forget the Mothman.
Well, been busy with summer reading programs this summer, of course.
She got her daddy's buggy and he said to go straight to the beach. Woo, straight to the beach. First she hit the library where the cool books are always in reach. Woo, always in reach. She brought a number of friends and they're buzzing cause they love to read. Love to read. Go catch the reading bug at your local library. Catch the reading bug at your local library. Catch the reading bug at your local library today.
We've been out encouraging kids to read, and we're right now working on getting together our Coyote Eagle folktale, getting it back up on its feet, and we're working on Kachinas this week.
Back on all 4 of its feet and all 2 of its wings and claws.
Right. I'll be playing the eagle, and Dennis is playing the coyote. And we'll be telling the story of how the sun and moon got into the sky.
And if you've heard our podcast version of that story or our recorded version on our album, the performance version is a bit different from either one of them.
Right, but that story is available on our album. It's on Out of the Bag.
That's right.
And this week we have a story for you. Of course, of course. This week's story is inspired by a teleconference that I attended online with, well, actually, I called in online because I can use Skype, which is a great way to use your computer as a phone. I called in on Skype on this teleconference that was conducted by Sean Bovala, a storyteller out of Arizona. And he presented a workshop for other storytellers. He included the story of the Peacock and the Crane. So, because of that, we're going to tell you the story now. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a peacock and a crane, and they happened to meet as they were walking down the street.
Oh, hello there. You look like a peacock.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sure that you knew that because of my beautiful feathers.
I knew that because I've seen you on TV.
Oh, yes. I do get around, don't I?
I am a crane. People just call me Derek.
Really? Well, it's, rather nice to meet you, but if you don't mind, don't get too close to my feathers. You see, they're very beautiful, and I have to fan them out so that the sun can reflect off of them. Oh, don't you just love them?
Achoo! Yes, they're quite lovely, but I prefer my feathers, actually. Nice old plain feathers.
What in the world could you do with plain feathers? Why, these are purple and green and iridescent colors. Aren't they just gorgeous?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I'd want colored feathers like that, attracting attention to myself. I'm a plain guy, you know.
Well, I guess if it works for you. But I'm just so much more beautiful.
Yeah, right. Well, listen, it's been nice to meet you, but I'm going to go stand on one foot for a while.
And just at that moment, along came a hunter.
I'd like a tasty bird to eat for the holiday. I don't know what holiday we're celebrating here in ancient Greece, but there got to be some holiday that we can have a bird for. Anybody see it? Oh, look at that. 2 birds. Let's see, there's a white one, and there's one with all these colored feathers. I wonder which one would be better to eat.
And so he threw his net, and just as he did, the crane took flight.
See you later.
Wait! Oh, wait for me! Oh, dear.
Gotcha. Good thing you can't fly as well as that other bird.
Oh, I guess my beautiful feathers aren't so useful after all.
Oh, boy, that was a close one. I'm glad my feathers are not so colorful. I'd rather be able to fly than to be beautiful to look at.
And that's the story of the crane and the peacock. Or the peacock and the crane.
One or the other.
Well, we are going to cut it short this week because we are busy.
That's right. We're getting kachinas together for the new show. And if you don't know what a kachina is, it is a spirit that was part of the native religion of the Pueblo Indians, including the Zuni tribe. They had these elaborate masks that they made so that performers in the religious ceremonies could wear these masks. And we are making masks to use to represent kachinas in the show.
Right, and we've got a bunch of shows coming up in Pennsylvania and Massachusetts for the summer reading programs. So if you're out that way, visit our site, and hopefully we'll see you at a show.
And on behalf of Zephyr and all of us, we'll catch you next time.
The Activated Storytellers perform at schools and libraries nationwide. On stage, we use American Sign Language, physical comedy, imaginative props, and a giant, oversized book to bring the stories to life. For booking information, check our website at www.activated-storytellers.com, where you can also find out when the Activated Storytellers will be performing near you, read a story, or order one of our audio CDs. Until next time.